Get ready to be inspired by the great things happening in rural education. The Rural Scoop will bring you new ideas and innovative solutions. We'll dive into education issues and we'll highlight what's working in your rural communities. You'll hear from a variety of educators, administrators, professionals, and others who will provide relevant and engaging content in each episode. And now, for a special episode recorded at the Arizona Rural Schools Association Conference, here's your host, Ty White.
Okay, so I know you already trust me, but I'm having fun with this. The first question to kind of break the ice and show people there's no trick questions going on, would you introduce yourselves? Just sort of tell me who you're here with and how many times have you been to the ARSA conference?
I've been to the ARSA conference almost since its beginning.
And introduce yourself.
I am Patty Horn. I'm a professor at Northern Arizona University. I have been on the board of ARSA for 25 years because NAU helped ARSA get started from the beginning. So I'm the higher ed representative on the board, among other things.
My name is Pam Powell, and I'm a professor and dean of the College of Education and Human Development at Southern Utah University in Cedar City, Utah. But I was here at Northern Arizona University for 20 years. And I've been to ARSA about 10 times probably. And I just thought it would be great to come down to this conference and see if one of my colleagues in Utah could come. And we were able to do a presentation here because I think there's so much possibility for Arizona, Southern Arizona and Southern Utah and Northern Arizona, but the whole state, both states have so much in common that there's, I think, a lot of opportunity for collaboration. And it's so great to be here.
So what is it that you're eager for at this conference this year? What do you think is going to be different?
Number one, we've always collaborated with one another. We've always built a networking relationship with one another. But I think the conference is expanding. We're having more presentations. We have more vendors. And so it is more attractive for the rural schools to come here. We also changed the venue because we outgrew our last one. So it's really nice to be on campus. This is a beautiful facility for a conference center connected to a hotel. So that makes it very easy for everyone. So I believe in relationships and collaboration and innovative ideas. And so I want to see those three things come together.
I would say the exact same thing. I'm definitely here in hopes of collaboration between states. Of course, Arizona collaborates wonderfully within the state as well, and I'm very aware of that from my time in Arizona. This time I'm here, though, for the collaboration between states in the intersection.
Okay. Would you tell me, so I'm going to say this more as a joke, but y'all live in Flagstaff at NAU. Flagstaff is a big city to me, but I'm sure you've got some great rural experiences that you've had you could share with us.
I was raised in Oklahoma, and I went to a school at the time that was the largest consolidated school in the state. It was a large school. However, my mother and her brothers and sisters all graduated from the same high school I did. We all went to the same church with grandmother. So it was a very small community from the beginning. So I've always had a heart for rural Arizona. I think that children, regardless of where you are, should have equal opportunity. And it's up to us to make sure that those opportunities are given to those students. I think that's why I was so impressed from the superintendent from Utah, because he found different pathways for his students to be successful.
So for me, my roots are rural. My parents grew up in rural South Carolina a long time ago. And even though my father was military, we moved around a lot. I've lived in 7 different states. Those roots are still within me. And so working with rural schools across my career in higher ed has been extremely meaningful to me and kind of full circle for me. being, again, raised by parents who grew up in the rural South.
Okay. What does the expression the rural advantage mean to you?
Say that one more time.
What does the expression the rural advantage mean to you?
Oh, community and relationships. I live out in the desert in a Phoenix suburb, and I have neighbors, but I don't have a community. I think in larger cities, you have neighbors, but again, you don't have a community established usually around the school. So rural communities are very special places to grow up in and to be a part of.
I would say community as well. And, I did work in a rural community that's no longer rural. I worked in Gilbert, Arizona for 20 years, and 6,000 people. I lived in the town when I first got there, and we were a family in the school and in the larger community. When we had babies, everybody was there to help us, etc. People held us up in times of need, celebrated and were joyous with us. So I do think it's the community that is the rural advantage.
Okay. One of my favorite things about this conference is that ARSA highlights 10 outstanding teachers from across the state. They give them a chance to recognize what they've been doing, and ultimately one selected to be the teacher of the year that represents rural Arizona. But it makes me think, and I'd like to ask you guys if you would mind sharing a story with me about a teacher who's impacted you.
Well, I can think of several teachers at the elementary level, but the teacher that made the biggest difference in my career was Dr. John Renner at the University of Oklahoma. He taught the science methods course, and he opened a whole new world of what science was as far as being inquiry. I learned how to teach from him, and I transferred that inquiry knowledge and that inquiry setting into how to teach kids phonics, how to teach kids reading, how to teach kids everything. So he was very instrumental in, I believe, making me the teacher that I became.
I can think of three. Alma Brown, who's no longer with us. In fact, all three of the people that I'm going to name are no longer living. Alma Brown was my second grade teacher, and she opened the world for me. The second one is Beverly Bearfield, who was my physical education teacher in 7th, 8th, and 9th grade at Eglin Air Force Base, Valparaiso, Florida, actually. And she pushed me. And when I would get to the place where she pushed me some more. And I appreciate that very much. And then my other was Gwen Boynton, who was my high school physical education teacher and cheerleader sponsor, etc. And for the very same reason, she helped me become me and start to believe in myself in high school. That's an ongoing process, by the way, across one's lifetime.
Absolutely.
But these three women were so impactful to me.
Great. I'm going to say this tactfully. Y'all have been involved with this for so long. That you have an outstanding network, though, across Arizona, growing it across Utah. And so I guess my question is, there's people out there that aren't here this week, and we'd like to encourage them to come next year. What would you share with them about this conference that might change their mind or commit them to joining?
I would challenge them to ask them what is happening in your community, what is happening in your school district, and how can not only NIU or university help you, but how can ARSA support you in a way that you expand and that you actually succeed in some of your dreams?
I attended Utah's Rural School Association conference this year, and it was in the summer. They had over 700 people. They were school district representatives. They were ancillary personnel from school districts, but the large majority of people were teachers. And it was not that big, I guess, a few years ago, and I don't know why they changed it. I don't know if it was changed from summer from another season, or I don't know. But I was very impressed that so many teachers were there from rural districts. So that might be something to look at too, opening it up to more teachers at a time when they're able to attend.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for listening to the Rural Scoop. Please be sure to rate, review, and subscribe, or even leave us a comment. And be sure to follow on Twitter at Dr. Sadorf. That's Dr_SADORF, so that you never miss a new release. You can also check out previous episodes of The Scoop wherever you get your podcasts. Production support for the Rural Scoop is provided by Chattanooga Podcast Studios. Find out more at ChattanoogaPodcastStudios.com. See you next time for more great discussions about rural education.